What is going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and this time the Don will bring you guys an exclusive freaking list because I will be grading various snacks because surprisingly, we haven't rated snacks in general.
Have we really not done that?
Nah, man, I have the list pulled up and we've done exotic snacks, cheese snacks, snack cakes, and snacks from the 2000s. But we have still yet to do just snacks in general. And I figured that it was high time that I got around to making this damn video because if I don't, then who will?
I'd happily do this video and I'd twerk on it so hard to be quite frank, except I see that freaking pickle right there to start this list off, and I'm already disgusted because what the hell is that about?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Joe is like an unreliable narrator and we can't trust his ass on a ranking as precious as this. Bro hates pickles so much and I will never understand it because they slap on everything and anything, and to be quite honest, I like to munch on some pickle out the jar from time to time.
The idea of that just disgusts me. You're better off doing ass to mouth with a fish than to ever consume a pickle, much less actually enjoy the flavor of some cucumber that has been marinating in some damn vinegar juice.
Okay, man, that's hella OD right there with that comment.
It's extremely OD, but I can't help but respect his level of commitment to hating on pickles and all other things good like mint and artificial cherry. That being said, I do think pickles are good, and I might as well start the list because up first we have a big old long dill pickle, and this is getting a C tier right off the bat. I enjoy these, but to call these my preferred snack is crazy, not gonna lie. Like, I don't mind you pickle enjoyers, but to put this any higher than a C tier is just straight blasphemy.
Putting this anywhere above an F is where you got me sick and twisted, brother. Like I want to gag just from the sight of the pickle going into C tier, and I haven't had anything to eat today, so it would all just be stomach acid and bile.
Gross, dude. Why the hell are you telling us this?
It's just a new fasting diet I saw Joe Rogan talk about. You just drink water and that's it for 3 days. But I don't drink water, I just drink sodas and juices, but I'm sure it's the same thing.
That doesn't sound remotely the same, but are they at least diet sodas?
No, they are definitely not.
What the hell are we going to do with you, Joe? Well, thankfully, I do know a method on how to calm you down.
Donald, that's inappropriate. You can't give me a happy ending on this video. Or can he?
I'd never do that to you, numb nuts. I was talking about how I was going to place the Klondike bar and Blizzard both into S tier. Your mind immediately went to something gross, but at least mine was still wholesome because all I had was ice cream on the mind. But yeah, I'm counting the Blizzard as any ice cream type and the Klondike bar as any ice cream sandwich type. They all go into a high tier because ice cream freaking bangs.
You can say that again.
Well, I won't be saying it again. I think my point is extremely clear, and we all know that aside from Joe, I also twerk for ice cream. But anyways, following the list, we now have an A tier in the Hershey's chocolate bar, and I chose the best one to represent all chocolate bars, and that, of course, is the cookies and cream flavor. Now, this gets an A tier, but don't get me wrong, I still love it a lot. Trust me, I will not be upset if I ask for a snack and you bring out a whole Hershey's chocolate bar. But you see, it just seems like too little to be a snack. Like I'd eat it and immediately want another one because I know damn well it wouldn't fill me.
Yeah, that's called being obese, my friend.
Nah, man. As a Democrat, you have to respect me and promote body positivity. See, I'm not fat. I just wear my weight differently than you, and you have to respect me because I am calorically challenged, and that's not my fault, but rather it's the fault of this country for making me this way.
I don't think the country forced you to eat multiple Whoppers and then have the audacity to get seconds with a helping of fries and a milkshake to wash it all down.
That sounds like an average American meal if you ask me, but you can't fat shame me, Barack. I have taken the moral high ground in this argument. But yes, to continue on with the list, we now have back-to-back banging S-tier entries because I have both the Hot Pocket and pizza rolls going high up there. What is there not to like about either of these? You can get like 2 or 3 Hot Pockets for a quick snack, or you can fill up a bowl with pizza rolls and eat those suckers like you're breathing them in for air.
Banger after banger from the great Don. I love sucking out all the sauce from my pizza rolls, and then I tongue them clean from the same hole that I sucked them from.
Man, why do you even do that?
Because it's fun to pretend I'm just sucking out someone's chocolate starfish, and sometimes I pretend that the pizza roll husk is like a ghost costume for my tongue.
You know, man, this isn't remotely at all the worst thing you've said, and this is actually on the better side of things you've done, so if it's not hurting anyone, well, I say keep on doing it. But yes, now moving on, we have an absolute disgrace, and I'm more than sure Barack convinced Fraile to sneak this entry in here because you got me all sorts of fucked up if you think I'm gonna twerk on an apple.
Come on, man, what's wrong with an occasional fruit? You don't even have to grade just the apple. Just imagine it being your favorite fruit.
Why the hell would I ever think of fruit when I'm clearly making a snack tier list? Like, goddamn man, use your brain. But I'd forgive someone immediately if they brought me a slice of cake to repent for the sin of bringing me a fruit, because I have our next entry going straight into S tier. Who the hell doesn't like cake?
Well, whenever I have too much cake, I always get bubble guts, man. Like, it might be because of all the sweetness, but I just feel my stomach bubbling more than lava whenever I have a whole cake.
Did you just say a whole cake?
Well, no dip. Of course I said a whole cake. Like, what else would I mean by that?
You could have meant it like a slice of cake. But Joe, you ever think that eating a whole cake in its entirety is probably why your stomach is in constant pain?
No, that can't be it.
I agree with Joe here. He probably has some deadly stomach virus or something. But I don't want to hear about his bubble guts on my precious snacks tier list. Anyways, up next we got two back-to-back A-tier bangers in the McDonald's fries and Cheez-Its, and goddamn do I love these. Not enough for the S tier though, but they bang hard. And you know, I'd place the fries higher if I was satisfied with just fries, but every time I go to McDonald's or any fast food place, my ass always fills up on food, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be ordering 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Just put the fries in the bag, little bro.
Fuck off, Sleepy Joe. I hate it when people say that. Like, I don't know why anyone would disrespect fast food workers. Like, they are more essential to our country than some branches of the Army. I don't know where this country would be if it weren't for those employees.
All right, relax now, man. You're doing too much right now.
The sad part is that I am not doing enough, and when I get elected, I plan to enact a National Fast Food Workers Day. They'll still have to work that day, but at least they'll get appreciated a bit more. Anyways, let's continue the list, and up next we have Airheads. And I like these and even made a freaking tier list about them, but they only get a B tier in the grand scheme of things for a snacks tier list. Like, this won't fill me up at all, but I know it's going to be delicious every bite. But what will fill me up slightly more and feel more snack worthy are our next two entries, because I have Uncrustables going into A tier and then snack cakes going into S tier. Uncrustables are good, but at the end of the day, it's a peanut butter and jelly, but snack cakes can be anything ranging from Twinkies and Ho-Hos all the way to some Zingers and a Hostess chocolate cupcake.
You know what? This is one I can kind of get behind. I do enjoy myself an occasional Uncrustable from time to time. They're good if I need a quick bite on the go.
I mean, I just eat them whenever I want. They're a snack barack, and you bet your ass I'm eating these during a movie or when I'm gaming. Much like with our next entry, but I don't like them as much because I then have Pop-Tarts going straight into B tier. Listen, they're good and I enjoy them, but you can't ask me to take Pop-Tarts over anything above it. Like, you got me fucked up if you want me to take it over some Oreos or some chips, because I have those next two going into S tier. Like, I don't even have to explain this one because I think it's well documented how much I twerk for either of these.
Yeah, but I mean, I did do the chip tier list, so some would argue that I twerk for chips more than you.
Joe, you get lucky Fraile lets you do them. We all know the Don would dominate those lists too much, which is why Fraile spread them out for us. But don't get me angry, man, because I am super happy making this list right now, and I only want to continue it. And up next, we have popcorn getting a C tier because they're good for movie nights, but I'm not throwing my ass back like an Atlanta stripper for it. Like, it's really overrated if you ask me, but I'll still eat it if it's in front of me.
I mean, what won't you eat if it's in front of you?
We just said that I wouldn't eat fruits, man. Pay attention to the damn list. But yeah, we now have our last two entries, and I know many of you think Lunchables are just for kids, but I will twerk for some damn Lunchables. They don't fill you up at all, but they're still a banging B tier in my eyes, and our last entry is a milkshake, and this gets an amazing A tier because it's the perfect sidekick to any snack. Like, imagine munching on some Twinkies and having a milkshake next to you. Like, it's the perfect Robin to any snack's Batman, and for that I place it into A tier, but it'll never reach S tier territory because it's just a sidekick.
But what if it's those super big milkshakes with the cake on the side and candies and chocolate inside?
That's just doing too much, and I'd rather just twerk on some Portillo's chocolate cake shake. God, I'd choke an MF'er out for some of that right now.
See, and I'd choke the chicken to you choking someone out.
Seek therapy, Joe, please?
I don't see how going to therapy would help me get my money spread longer or how it would get me some ABGs. So until they implement either of those, I am most definitely not going to therapy.
On God, Joe, just thug that shit out, my man. That's what real men do.
You two must have some crazy childhood trauma or something.
What is going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, And this time, the great Don is going to provide you all with some much-needed Chef Boyardee knowledge, because I will be telling you guys which ones are the best of the best. Quick spoiler, though, most of these freaking bang.
Well, I mean, coming from you, that's no surprise.
Real funny, man. Keep the fat jokes rolling. I'm sure the viewers have never heard it before.
Wait, guys, this is an honest question, but you think the Chef Boyardee guy is real? Like, what if he's a figment of our imagination and he only exists in the dream world like some sort of omnipotent god of sauce and pasta?
What the hell are you yapping about?
I'm just asking if he was a real person. Every time I buy one of these cans or even just look at them in my pantry, I just wonder if this is a real person and what his life was about. What did Mr. Boyardee do in his free time, I wonder? Did he goon? Did he do galaxy gas? Does he even know what galaxy gas is?
Joe, he wasn't alive for the invention of galaxy gas.
That poor bastard.
Well, Joe, he could have done whippets, though, with the whipped cream cans.
I mean, it's no blue raspberry galaxy gas. My name, Lil T-Man, Obongus, Rizzler level 10, Giat Kai Senet, Phantom Tax, Zin Zin, we go Jim, crash out on baby. But hey, at least he got a taste of what could have been. He got the worst version, though. But wait a minute, Barack. Are you saying that Mr. Chef is a real guy? This isn't some drawing or some random Italian dude in cosplay.
I'm just going to ignore what you said in between all that, because I actually think the galaxy gas has given you real-life brain rot. But yes, Joe, he actually is a real guy.
On Ski Beatty?
Shut up, Joe. But wait, you weren't trolling Joe Barack? He's an actual dude?
Yes, his real name is Ettore Boyardee, or more commonly referred to as his English name, Hector Boyardee. And he almost lived for 90 years. He was born in 1897 and lived till 1985. That's super impressive. He was known for producing rations, supplying Allied troops during World War II. He was awarded a Gold Star Order of Excellence from the United States War Department. But after struggling with cash, mixed with some internal family struggles over the ownership and direction of the company, he then sold his brand to American Home Foods, which then got bought out by Conagra Foods, who still continues to produce Chef Boyardee canned pastas, bearing Boyardee's likeness.
Wow, I love the learning. Grimace shake, baby gronk, boom or doom, DB, dibado.
Joe, if you do that one more goddamn time, I swear to God, I'm kicking you from our call. But yeah, I really don't, and you didn't have to yap for that long, Barack. Bro is begging for his moment in the spotlight on my goddamn tier list. We'll say goodbye to that because it's the Don's time to shine, and I will get this freaking list started. And up first, we got a banger going straight into S tier, and that is the beefaroni. I think we saw this coming. Heck, even your relatives saw this coming. Your neighbors from down the street saw this coming. Even the damn cats and dogs on the street knew this was coming, because this was as obvious as Pinocchio when he tells a lie.
If I made Pinocchio, I think I'd make him into a stool and I'd make him lie to me every single day.
I absolutely hate what that implies.
Can't say I'm surprised, though, but yeah, the beefaroni freaking bangs, guys. It's mac and cheese, except with no cheese, but all beef and sauce with macaroni pasta, and I can't get enough of it. Unfortunately, though, our next three entries all get freaking D tiers because I have all the minis going down there, because this shit is for little fucking babies, bro. Like, what the hell do you expect for a grown-ass man like me to do with these itty-bitty-ass treats? Like, give me some goddamn real Chef Boyardee, because this is not gonna cut it, and I'd be mad as hell if someone brought me this to eat.
Why not keep it a stack here, Donald, and tell us the truth? Because I know damn well your ass would be mildly perturbed, but I know that you'd still gobble and swallow all those mini pastas if you were given the opportunity, and I don't even doubt that at all. Like, gun pointed at my whole family, the killer looking me in the eye and saying he won't stop erasing my bloodline unless I get this right. I'd still say you'd eat that shit 10 times out of 10.
Damn, that's a little disrespectful.
It is, but damn, you're lucky as hell that I hate to waste food, Joe. You're right, but don't expect to be right every single time.
If it involves you and food, then I'd be right every single time.
All right, man, we're not going to sit here and continue to listen to Joe slander my good name. Moving on to our next entry, we now have an exotic one because Chef Boyardee decided to get all fancy schmancy and make a chicken Alfredo sauce version of their pasta. And I'm here to say that it actually bangs hard as hell and gets an A tier.
Why would you say it's fancy?
Because, well, I don't know. I just feel like Alfredo pasta in a can sounds a bit fancy, maybe. Well, at least for Chef Boyardee standards. They usually just stay in their lane and just make beef meat related things. But they tried something else, and in my opinion, it worked. Even though chicken from a can sounds a bit suspicious, I can assure everyone in the audience listening that it does indeed bang and to not fear the canned chicken.
On God, Donald. I love canned chicken, and I even like to drink the canned chicken water if you ask me. Like I do that with all my canned meat because you will most definitely catch the Joester eating Vienna sausages, chicken, seafood, or any meat type at all of the can, and I will be putting their juices to work and wash down all that meat with some meat-flavored juice with preservative juices. But if you really want to know a true Joe life hack, then you get the same juice from the can, and let's say that it's a hot summer day. Well, you can put that same juice into an ice tray and get meat ice cubes to add some flavor to an otherwise boring drink like water or juice. If you want to be extra cool, then you put it into a popsicle mold and just make some nice meat sickles.
That sounds absolutely horrendous. Why the hell would anyone in their right mind ever want to do that?
Because it pairs extremely well with a blue Gatorade dog. Heck, you could encase the blue Gatorade dog in preservative juice from the can and then freeze it, and you'll have a popsicle to lick with a nice and meaty yet sweet center.
Joe, what you just freaking described sounds like an assault on anyone who cares an ounce about cooking and food. I think I'd rather freeze dry my balls off than to eat that slop, bro.
Well, you wouldn't be eating, but more so sucking and licking.
All right, the Joe screen time is over, and we are now flipping the page to our next chapter, and that is our next entry, which is the Chef Boyardee mac and cheese in a can. Now, this gets a B tier because it's honestly pretty all right. I'm not about to twerk for this, but it'll get a solid nod of approval from the Don. I think it only gets this high too because I honestly thought this was going to taste awful. Like, I respect Mr. Boyardee and all, but I thought mac and cheese was going to be out of his wheelhouse.
Dude, it's still pasta. How the hell would cheese and pasta be out of his range when all he makes is pasta in a can?
Listen, man, I don't know. I'm just used to seeing all my mac and cheese come in a box like with Kraft, and I just get weirded out at the thought of it coming out of a can. Sue me, man. I don't know why you're getting your panties in a twist over a simple opinion, bro. I still gave it a B tier too, so like it's not even a bad ranking.
I'm slobbering a bit just thinking about mac and cheese. The sound it makes when it's all creamy and thick, and you just move it around with your spoon. God damn, now that's something the Joester is craving right now. I might even get some ranch-flavored mac and cheese later.
What the hell? They have that?
Yeah, they do. See, Kraft has like a bunch of new flavors with their Cheetos collab. But the ranch one is just something they did on their own. They also have a jalapeno cheese one too.
Okay, well, at least the jalapeno cheese one makes sense because those two pair up to make an amazing flavor combo. But ranch and cheese just seems like a recipe for your bubble guts, Joe. But whatever, man, what goes on between you and your toilet is no business of mine. That is what I'd like to say, but we had that whole bubble guts tier list you made, and I unfortunately had to sit through it.
Don't act like you didn't like learning more about me, you silly goofy goober.
I genuinely did not, Joe, and it was a waste of what little time I may have on this earth. I think I'd rather give the shooter an extra opportunity to shoot at me than to listen to that slop again. Speaking of slop, though...
You better not disrespect the beef ravioli, Donald. I may not say a lot and let things slide, but that's where I draw the line.
I'm joking. It was only a goof and gaff because I actually have our next 3 entries going straight into S tier. Like, who doesn't like the classic beef ravioli? And the next entry is the same, except they overstuff it with even more meat and sauce, and hell, that would go in S+ tier if I had one. And the spaghetti and meatballs is one of my favorites, of course. You can never go wrong with the spaghetti and meatballs. Like, if you mess up making that, then you probably should never be near a kitchen for the rest of your life.
See, me personally, I enjoy spa peggy and meatballs.
No more references, Joe? We talked about this?
All right, well, I like Filipino spaghetti the most.
For once on this entire list, Joe is actually spitting hot fire because goddamn Filipino spaghetti is to die for. I'd handstand twerk underwater till I run out of oxygen just for some Filipino spaghetti. Damn, you got me hungry as hell now, Joe. But not hungry enough to overrate our next entry, which is the lasagna. And listen, this gets an A tier. It's good, but I think this is one dish that you truly can't capture the magic of inside of a can. It's missing stuff, but hey, I still really like it. While I'm here, I may as well rank the next 2 ravioli types because we have cheese ravioli going into C tier and the mini raviolis going into A tier. Now, I know I hate it on the other mini foods, but this is ravioli, and when they're mini, it feels like I'm eating ravioli cereal, and I can get multiple on my spoon, and it just feels squishy as hell, like when you hold on to a baby or pet a cute dog. The squish meter is off the charts, and the cheese ravioli isn't bad, but you guys know the Don can't go on without his meat.
Oh, brother, you can most definitely say that again because the Joester is the king of meat, and I need it in me at all times.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Joe. I won't argue that because that's just how much of a good mood I'm in because of our last entry. Because damn, if you thought the beefaroni was good, then prepare your taste buds for the amazingness that is the chili mac. Because damn, this gets our last S tier of the night.
Wow, for this being a Donald list, I actually feel like it was evenly distributed. Like I'm looking at it and I don't see a thing out of place, to be honest. Would I swap some spots? Yeah, I would, but that's just me.
Don't monologue at the end of my damn list and act like you're doing something important, you stupid fuck.
What is going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and this time around, the Cheese Man Joe will be ranking various Kraft macaroni and cheeses for you all. And oh man, as a cheese expert, I want you all to know that this will be a Banging Joe certified list.
You know what, Joe? I think this is an actual time that no one will challenge you on that title.
I mean, I'd argue that I like eating cheese more than Joe, but I don't love cheese the way Joe loves cheese, if you all catch my drift.
I don't get what you mean by that. What are you implying about Joe?
Let's just say that Swiss cheese isn't the only way to get holes in your cheese if you leave it around Joe.
Dude, freaking gross, man.
I mean, you got to microwave it first and get it a bit soft and mushy to make the Joester extra gushy.
Man, please, can we not do this today?
Donald started it.
I just made a comment about how much of a freak you are, Joe. Last time I checked, this was America, and I'm allowed to say what I want.
Whatever you want, to an extent, dude. I don't want to hear about this verbal garbage.
Well, fret not, Barry Barack, because I can just get the list started and we don't have to listen to this bozo named Donald anymore, because I am damn excited to rank mac and cheesy. So up first, we have ranch. And listen, I know that the last time I mentioned having ranch mac and cheese, I was twerking on it, but let me keep it a buck on my mutta. In comparison to all the other mac and cheeses, I think this is one of the weaker ones and goes into C tier. I love ranch and can drink it out the bottle. I love cheese and pasta, but sometimes not everything you love can be combined into one delicious mixture.
Holy W, Joe. I was worried about where exactly you were going to place this thing because ranch mac and cheese sounds like an absolute atrocity, but you know what? I'll take a C tier, considering I was preparing for the worst of the worst.
All right, man, let's relax. I do goof and gaff from time to time, but when it comes to the Joesters list, well, I know when to be the realest of real. Like none of you can tell me that I wasn't taking the foot tier list seriously or even the bubble guts tier list.
You know what, Joe? That is actually something that I don't think a single person can take away from you, because I don't think another man in this world exists who cares as much about feet and what makes their tummy hurts as much as you, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
Ooh, I liked hearing my full name. Made me feel all tingly inside. You should do that more often.
Now I'm going to remind myself to never do that again.
You'll slip up again. They always freaking do. Just give it some time. Anywho, let's move on to our next entries. And I actually have our next 3 entries all going into A tier because the white cheddar original and the Kraft jalapeno all bang. Now don't confuse the normal Kraft mac and cheese jalapeno with the other Cheetos branded jalapeno, because those taste differently, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Now, I figured that placing these all into A tier is a great decision because the white cheddar is a delicious option if you want to switch up the flavor and still want Kraft mac and cheese only. The original is great too, but if you ask me, there's something slightly better than just original, and we will get to it, but like a freaking A tier is still amazing for plain old Kraft mac and cheese. And lastly, the jalapeno is a nice bit of spice that gets added onto the original Kraft mac and cheese formula. And I certainly have no complaints about it. Creamy and cheesy with a bit of spice, which can also describe my love life.
What the hell does that even mean? Like, how the fuck would creamy and cheesy with a bit of spice even begin to describe that?
Well, the creamy and cheesy is pretty easy to understand.
Gross, but he has a point. But what about the spice?
Oh, I don't know, man. I guess I'm just a spicy guy. Like the Joester lives his life with a little spice. But hey, if you guys didn't like that one, then our next entry describes my love life better, because I have the thick and creamy going into S tier alongside the 4-cheese Cheeto mac and cheese. Now the thick and creamy mac and cheese is a no-brainer, and if you somehow want this to be even thicker and even creamier, then let me tell you the Joe life hack that will rock your world.
Oh God, this is going to be disgusting, isn't it?
Listen, man, I'm actually going to be giving out actual and factual life hacks that will surely get the Don's approval.
You're setting a high bar, Joe, but I shall allow you to speak for the sake of the food.
Prepare to blow your load at what the Joe dog has to say. Ahem, well, if you want to get your mac and cheese even thicker and creamier, then this is the Joe method. First, start cooking your Kraft mac and cheese and get it nice and going, and get to the step where you're about to add the cheese packet. But before you do that, get whatever cheese you want to add, because remember, this is your mac and cheese, and you can add whatever the heck you want to add. But you slap on the cheeses while the pasta is still hot, and you can throw in Munster, cheddar, Parmesan, blue cheese, you name it, and it can go in there. But you add those and get it all nice and thick and cheesy. And if it's too thick, fret not, because you can melt some butter on the side and add it to your mac and cheese to get it wetter if you want. But once you add that cheesy goodness, then you add in the cheese packet, and feel free to add in some bacon bits to get a nice bit of texture going on, and boom, you got yourself a Joe certified banger.
Bro, isn't that what everyone does?
What?
Yeah, like I think most people add in their own cheese. Like I add in an extra 3 slices of Kraft cheese so it can get gooey as hell. And the bacon bits is a good idea though, but yeah, I feel like everyone adds their own cheese. Like you do the same, right, Barack?
Yeah, I hate to burst your bubble, Joe, but I do the same too. I don't add the butter when it gets too thick because that sounds horrible for your arteries, but I do add milk instead.
Well, fuck me, bro. I try to put everyone on, but now I look like a freaking idiot. Whatever, man. I tried to be a man of the people, and this is what I freaking get. Let's just move on with the list. Man, it just feels like you both took all the wind out of me with those lousy remarks. Well, up next, we have the Cheetos Bacon Mac and Cheese. And listen, I do love bacon on my mac and cheese, but let me add my own bacon bits, and don't try to mix it in with the flavoring, because a lot of the time, it just makes it taste somewhat funky. Don't get me wrong, it's still a B tier, but I feel like it might have had more potential if they just added a little pouch of bacon bits alongside the mac and cheese instead.
Yeah, but then the cost would have definitely gone up, Joe. You can't really complain that the bacon flavor tastes funky when maybe it tastes delicious to other people.
Can confirm, because I am the other people, and Joe, I don't know what you're smoking out of Hunter's pipe, but this tastes good as hell, and I even add more bacon bits on top to just really satisfy my need for meat. Pause on that.
Listen, you two, this is my freaking list, and if I say it tastes too weird, then it tastes too weird. I don't want to hear anything otherwise, and it will stay in freaking B tier. Thankfully, though, we have some bangers, guys, and I know Donald's voluptuously fat ass will be twerking and bouncing off the wall for these next ratings, because I have back-to-back S tiers in the Cheetos mac and cheese and the Cheetos jalapeno mac and cheese. What can I say other than that I am a Cheetos twerker in mac and cheese form? Maybe it's because I've had so much Kraft mac and cheese in my life that a switch up to Cheetos mac and cheese is all I need. But you guys can bet your bottom dollar that the jalapeno one tastes similar to the chips and the Joester twerks for some jalapeno Cheetos. So if you give it to me in mac and cheese form, well, buddy, you're asking to get dog walked by the Joe Dog. The OG Cheetos mac and cheese is good too, like I said. It's a nice change up from the original Kraft mac and cheese.
You know, Joe, I haven't had these since they came out, so I can't really comment too much, but I do remember actually liking them. Like they weren't anything crazy, like I wasn't ready to blow bubbles on it, but I do remember just enjoying them. Maybe this is a sign to get me a box of them.
This is definitely your sign, Donald. Get the variety pack and just go crazy with the flavors, because damn, they really do have it all. Like the OG Cheetos flavor and the jalapeno are the best ones of the bunch, but don't get me wrong, there are still really good flavors, like with our next one, which is the Cahoon flavored mac and cheese, and this gets a freaking A tier.
Joe, we've been over this. It's not Cahoon, it's pronounced Cajun.
My memory isn't what it used to be, Barack. I'm sorry that you felt the need to attack me on this video instead of privately making a comment to me when our audience wasn't listening, you freaking dick. Now they're going to lose some respect for me.
This is you when you're barely losing your memory? Dear God, we haven't even hit rock bottom then. But don't worry, Joe. The audience already has basically zero respect for you, and there is no way to get lower than zero in their eyes. You've already done everything possible in this world to disgust them and irritate them with your obnoxious rants and your gross comments about my Trump rump.
Donald, I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, but trust me, their respect for me can definitely fall lower. I'm like everyone's idol, and I know they wobble me so much. But back onto the rating, because the Cajun mac and cheese bangs also adds a little spice to everything, and you'll definitely get more spicier undertones with this one than you would have with the jalapeno one. But flavor-wise, the jalapeno still takes the cake. But now that we're here on the final item of our list, I might as well rank the flaming hot mac and cheese, and listen here, folks. It may look like it would taste gross, but in all honesty, this kind of banged, and maybe my expectations were low because I thought to myself, no way this would taste good. But indeed, it was good. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I remember Barack enjoying this one a lot more than me. But I'd give it a B tier personally.
Joe, you all right? It sounded like you were going to have a stroke at the start. But yeah, you know what? That's an okay rating for it. I think it's more of an A tier or even S tier, but I'll take a freaking B tier.
I mean, you'll take whatever Papa Joe gives you and you'll love it. But yeah, this just isn't as good as the flaming hot Mountain Dew. Now that is some delicious shit right there.
Joe, you can't be serious. It tastes like Mountain Dew that someone added a ton of black pepper to.
That sounds like a dream soda for me. Imagine giving that to someone dying of the bubonic plague in the medieval ages. It might cure them. What is freaking going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and this time around, the Joe Dog is going to be doing a Lunchables tier list. And oh boy, howdy am I excited for this one.
Why? I didn't know you liked Lunchables that much.
Oh, I don't, but I get to take away a precious food tier list from Donald, and I know he's absolutely devastated.
All right, listen, man, I'm not too mad about this one. I like Lunchables, but I'm not exactly keeling over at the thought of you doing this Lunchables tier list over me. Like, there's barely any items, Joe, so I don't really think you even have all that much to grade.
Okay, well, that's true. I want you to know that it's because Lunchables releases the same exact food item, but with a different candy or a different flavored Capri Sun. Shit is so stupid because I swear to God, who the hell cares about the candy or drink that's inside?
Okay, let's relax now because that's my favorite part.
See, it's because of idiots like you who twerk for the candy inside that Lunchables got lazy as hell and decided, you know what? Let's just re-release the same fucking chicken nuggets or crackers and ham, but change the candy. Because little fatty piggy numb nuts are gonna go bonanza over a Kit Kat being inside, over a Hershey's bar, and they'll end up splooging all in their pants at the sight of this in the supermarket.
Dude, take a damn chill pill. It's really not all that deep.
See, you're part of the problem too, then. I can't reason with you animals because I'm not satisfied with a simple candy change. Give me more variety in the food, goddammit. But yeah, I hope that explains why we have such little entries on our tier list this time around. Freaking Lunchables and whatever company owns them.
They're actually owned by the Kraft Heinz Company.
The what? Are they owned by Kraft or are they owned by Heinz? I need to know which one to hate.
No, like they're owned by both companies. Well, it's no longer both because on March 25th, 2015, Kraft Foods announced that it would merge with the H.J. Heinz Company. So like it's literally owned by both, but in this case, it's now just one entity.
Well, damn. I guess I can't hate on them because Heinz made Daddy's brown sauce.
They made what? And why do you know about it?
Come on, Donald. Of course the Joester loves Daddy's brown sauce. I can't live a single day of my life without Daddy's brown and thick sauce inside of me.
All right, dude, you can't go adding the word thick to describe the sauce.
I mean, it was a delicious and thick sauce, but whatever, man. I can tell you're literally just a stupid snowflake who gets offended by anything. Ahem. But yes, enough about Daddy's deliciously thick and salty sauce. Instead, let's get this freaking tier list started and up. First, we have the Lunchables, nachos, and listen, I actually kind of enjoyed these, but I don't think I can place them higher than a B tier. Like, keep in mind, most of the time we're all eating Lunchables. Cold, and while the chips freaking bang, and so does the salsa, I can't lie. But the nacho cheese leaves a little something to be desired, and I just think it should get heated up, to be quite honest, but I can't even heat up the cheese in the Lunchables tray because then I'll get microplastics, actually. Oh, there won't be nothing micro about the plastic I'm about to ingest because I swear the tray gets melted into the cheese and I'm just dipping my chips into some mixture of plastic and cheese. Makes me feel like I'm eating some damn Fallout food.
Well, then why don't you simply just not heat up the damn cheese, Joe?
And have some freaking cold cheese? I mean, I do sometimes, but other times I just risk it for the biscuit and just try my best to heat that cheese up on phone-em. It's fine though, because wasn't there a recent study that showed that microplastics are actually in every part of our body because of how messed up our food is?
Yeah, and it'll probably lead to some major health problems later in life, and it'll also probably cause the downfall of humanity with all the possible birth defects and such. But, Joe, what do I always tell you to do?
You're right, Donald. Sometimes we just have to thug it out.
I don't think that's something we should be saying about the future generations of humanity.
They must learn what it's like to thug something out. If anything, maybe some galaxy gas would purify them and cleanse them of all the microplastics. Either way, I'm on my deathbed, so who the hell cares? I know I don't. Anywho, moving on to our next entry, we now have back-to-back S-tier Lunchables in the ham and cheese crackers alongside the chicken dunks. Both of these are amazing options and basically my go-to Lunchables because the coldness fits the crackers, ham, and cheese. Because it's like I got a little charcuterie board with me and I can enjoy assembling it however I want. Sometimes I just eat the block of cheese by itself. Sometimes I eat the ham by itself. Other times I may just make crackers and cheese, or maybe I just decide to eat it normally and just make myself an amazingly crafted cracker with both ham and cheese. Now, the chicken nuggets is one that you all might be a little twisted on, but these can actually be microwaved and they come with a little sauce to dunk them in too. Best part is that they won't need to be microwaved hella like the nacho cheese because just 10 to 15 seconds in the microwave and these bad boys will be ready to explode with flavor all up in your little beautiful mouth.
You've got to be kidding me. Charcuterie blows this Lunchables shit out of the water. Not to mention, you can get some expensive ass cheese with maybe some nice cuts of meat and top it all off with an amazing selection of sides like olives or pickles, for example, and oh man, you've got yourself a treat?
You forgot to mention the wine.
I didn't mention the wine because you have a serious drinking problem, Joe, and you end up finishing the bottle before I even have anything served up on the board.
Listen, mate, let's get one thing straight here. I don't have a drinking problem. Drinking has a me problem. And anyways, even if that were true, why would it be a problem when any time I drink alcohol, I suddenly stop shaking and stop feeling like garbage? Yeah, checkmate right there, brother. Someone needs to hand me their keys during charcuterie night because I am more than ready to drive. Ahem. But now is not the time because I have a Lunchables tier list to do, and up next is the chicken kebab poppers, and maybe it's my inner hater, but this only gets a C tier. I've never had these, but I'm just upset that I tried to find these online and I couldn't, so that triggered me a bit and made me want to give it a poo-poo rating. Like, who the hell even wants chicken kebabs from Lunchables? Not me, that's for damn sure.
Bro, you're bugging out on this one because those things look like they fucking bang, and you literally just complained about them not being available, so obviously your ass wants to eat some chicken kebabs.
No, I don't. That's just my inner voice wanting to come out and make himself be known. I don't want that freaking chicken kebab, and that's final. Instead, let me continue being a damn hater, because somehow we got even worse. And up next, we have a freaking sub from Lunchables, and this is a garbage D tier. Like, the bread from this thing is just atrocious, and I felt like I was eating some loaf of bread from the medieval ages. With the way it was so tough and gritty, felt like I was chewing on some sofa leather, and I just could not swallow it for the life of me. And believe you me, that the joester always, and I mean always, swallows.
Go figures that the only thing that is actually delicious cold is the one thing that Joe hates. Also, what the hell is up with that last comment? That's one thing that I know that me and the rest of the viewers definitely didn't want to know.
Hey, why not lump me in that group too? You know damn well I didn't want to hear that either.
With how freaky you can be in the fursuit, bro, I don't even know anymore.
He's got a point, Barack. Furries can never be trusted, and that's a life motto to live by. Nothing against them. I just, can't trust them. But no furry talk, please, because we're so close to finishing this list that I can already taste the Lunchable that's in my fridge.
Which one is it?
The crackers and ham one. Thank you for asking. But anyways, our next entry is a bit of an odd one, and this yet again is another that I haven't tried, and I'm mad as hell that I didn't get to give it a whirl, but this is the beef tacos from Lunchables. It just sounds odd coming out my mouth, and I can't imagine it tastes that good when it's cold as hell. And the box art has some unmelted cheese, but I'll still give it a C tier. It has to be better than the sub at this point, and I think I maybe would have liked it had I tried it, but the world will never know. Much like how the world will never know what happened in the summer of 1973.
Yeah, it's a shame.
A darn shame, really, but we want to keep this video monetized. So let's not recount the tale, Joe, and instead get on with the list, because thank heavens that we are nearing the end. I can literally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Whatever, man, calm your bussy down, because I know your ass is just hating because you wish you could be doing this list instead, but it's okay. The Joe Dog doesn't hate on his haters. Instead, he pities them because they will never know the tender touch that comes from a Joe head, and they will never know how it feels like to know and love the word of Joe. Ahem, but enough of my self-glazing, because I can do that all day, but instead let's focus up on our final two entries, because they are both pizzas, but Lunchables decided to also release a deep dish pizza, which I don't know who the hell had that idea, because it really isn't even a deep dish, but rather a saucier pizza. But thank God that it wasn't really deep dish, because that would have been a mess. But Yes, to rank these, I think I'd have to place the OG pizza into S tier because while it might not be the best looking thing or the best tasting thing or just a good thing in general, what it does have is a lot of charm. And you bet your ass I love to decorate and make my own mini Lunchables pizza before I just end up throating the whole thing. I fit that whole sauce saucer right into my petite Joe mouth, and I almost swallowed it without chewing once. But that was a dangerous game I was playing. Had to have Hunter give me the Heimlich when he was 12, but now with all the overdoses he sees every other day, I basically trained him for the future. But yeah, then the deep dish pizza gets an A tier. It's okay and all, but the OG pizza takes the cake.
What a freaking list, man. Glad we got that over with.
Yeah, but now that he mentioned cake, I'm kind of having a hankering for a slice right now.
Funny because I was craving a slice too. A slice of the Don's Bunda cake. Anyways, you guys want to see this TikTok I found? It's totally me when I don't have Galaxy gas.
Please, I'm almost out. I need more Galaxy gas. Please, is there any Galaxy gas here? I'm crashing out. Can we please get more Galaxy gas?
Joe, you seriously need to stay off the Galaxy gas, or else you'll end up with even fewer brain cells.
Never!
What is going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and this time around we are going to be doing a tier list based around my favorite foods. I gave Fraile a list to choose from, and he hand-selected all these items for me, and I'm already starting to twerk a little for what I see on here.
If it's your favorite foods, wouldn't they all just go in S tier?
No, they wouldn't, man. Can you use your brain for a second and think about this rationally? If you were presented with a platter of all your favorite foods and treats, naturally you'd reach for something first, right?
All right, dude, my bad.
I know how to solve this question. See, Donald, I wouldn't grab one thing first. I'd grab them all and then put them in a blender and mix in some leftover blue Gatorade hot dog water so that it can make it into a delicious mushy paste, and then I would form them into nice balls or patties, depending on what I was feeling. And then I would dip said balls and patties into egg and then into batter and then back into the eggs. And lastly, I would deep fry them in Wagyu beef tallow to give them the best flavor possible.
Now that sounds absolutely vile.
Now hold on, let him cook here, because while that does sound gross to start off, I can actually see the potential, like if you were to mix a bunch of good foods that go together, like maybe blending up a hamburger and a hot dog and then deep frying that actually sounds like a banger.
Well, you conveniently left out the fact that he uses blue Gatorade hot dog water as a mixer for all of his ingredients.
Shit, you're right. Never mind, Joe. You're going back in time out, my man.
Oh, barnacles.
Why the fuck did you say barnacles? You know what, man? I'm not opening up that can of worms because I could care less about your vocabulary, Joe. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this list started. And up first, we have a freaking S tier, because if you guys can tell what that is, then you know it, I know it. We all know that the freaking Whopper is to die for, and that I will die on a damn cross for the Whopper. The Whopper to me is like what soaking is to Mormons. It's basically my mecca of all things good and delicious. See, the Burger King Whopper is the king of fast food, no pun intended on there, but it's a messy, greasy masterpiece that doesn't pretend to be anything. It's not unlike Barack here, who constantly pretends that being a furry is normal. But either way, let me continue to glaze the delicious ass Whopper, because the thing is huge, none of those sorry-ass tiny burgers where you need 3 to feel full.
Who the hell needs 3 burgers to feel full? You're once again showing everyone that you're a fat ass.
Donald, I like it when you're thick. Keep talking.
Don't say that, Joe, but again, please don't interrupt me when I'm talking about my beloved Whopper, because with a flame-grilled beef patty, it's obviously to twerk for. And sure, Barack, you might call it out on being unhealthy, but guess what, pal? It's not health food, it's comfort food. When you bite into a Whopper, the juices drip down your hands, the sauces ooze out, and the crunch of those veggies. God damn, I am actually going crazy from how delicious that sounds. I will continue to twerk for the freaking Whopper, even if you guys are hating on it. If anything, I think you two hating on me putting it in S tier is what makes me more confident that it belongs there.
Dude, no one was against this rating at all. I was just surprised you said it took you not 1, not 2, but 3 damn burgers to feel full. That's some big back shit right there.
Dude, you forget that I'm like 6'7" or something. I haven't measured myself recently, and because I am so tall, I obviously need more calories than the average human. I am not a big back. But yes, now that we got the best thing on the list out of the way, let me rank our next entry, which is a Klondike bar. And Joe isn't the only ice cream twerker here, and Klondikes are my favorite brand of ice cream, and these get an auto A tier. These are just an amazing entry. And listen here, if you're going to bring the Don an ice cream sandwich, then it better be a Klondike bar.
The real question is, what would you do for a Klondike bar, Donald?
Stop fantasizing about me, Joe, because it's definitely not anything that you're thinking up in your demented little head, man. I just buy it in a grocery store like a normal person. What could they cost, like $20 or something?
Super off on the price, but that aside, I do miss the silly Klondike commercials. Can we bring funny and original commercials back?
I will bring funny commercials. Don't you worry, Barack. That's one of my many steps to make America great again. But more importantly, let's go ahead and take a gander at our next entries because we have the triple S tier ranking because I twerk for some hot dogs, pizza, and McDonald's in general. There isn't anything you could do to get me to dislike any of these. A hot dog is a true American tradition, and none of those gross Chicago dogs, Barack, because I will drench it in ketchup and mustard, thank you very much. And well, McDonald's goes without saying because I swear every soda tastes better when it comes from McDonald's, and I haven't even touched on their delicious ass food like a McGangbang, where you combine a McChicken and McDouble to form the most holiest invention on planet Earth. And lastly, Joe, I want to point out that the pizza I have going into S tier isn't just any ordinary pizza because it's a pineapple pizza.
Te voy a matar, eres una tina de manteca. Demo a isasuni wa irarenai. Yawarakaku shinayakana o shiriga watashi. O shiawasena yoru etomichibite kureru de show. Nawet nie mówię po polsku, do cholery kurwa. Pero al fin del día no te puedo dejar de amar, Donald.
All right, we have a malfunction in the Joe system. We need to give him a hard reset.
Blow on me real hard and try to turn me on again. That's how you'll fix the Joester, just like with an old video game cartridge.
All right, I think we've heard enough of Joe. I can only pray that he didn't say anything too weird, but I guess we'll never know because you got me messed up if you think I'm going to learn any language aside from American.
That's not, just forget it. Carry on with the list, please.
Gladly, because up next we have a freaking A tier in wings or Wingstop in general. I like to get my wings from Wingstop because they're the best, but I don't twerk for wings the most. They always come out too spicy, and you know what? I may as well rank our next two because I know people will think this is controversial too, but I have nachos going into B tier and Nutella going into C tier. I know people think I twerk for nachos, but I wouldn't prefer them over all the things above it. They're just too spicy, just like the wings, I tell you. As for the Nutella, well, it's freaking Nutella. I love it, but it's always an add-on to everything else. I rarely eat Nutella straight out the jar.
The fact you even eat it out the jar in the first place is a huge concern.
Barack Nutella is delicious, and it can most certainly be eaten straight from the jar. People do that with peanut butter.
That's entirely different considering the sugar levels.
Barack, I will die before I get diabetes. Don't you worry. One thing that'll definitely expedite the diabetes process is our next two entries, which both get A tiers because damn chocolate bars and Chips Ahoy both mess me up, but in the best way possible. Like I can already taste how delicious a cookies and cream Hershey's s'more would taste like, and even then, the chocolate bar by itself may not fill me up, but damn, the flavor on it is just spectacular. Same with the Chips Ahoy cookies because these are the second most dunkable cookies behind Oreos. Just make sure to not eat them the Joe way, where he just dumps a whole sleeve of cookies into a cup and then pours milk over it until it fills up, and then slowly scoops them out with a spoon and later drinks all the milk and whatever is left of the cookie.
Wasn't it you that said that?
Dude, does that sound like something I'd do?
A little bit, yeah. It sounds extremely fat, so like my automatic assumption is that you'd come up with that.
Joe, tell Barack that you came up with that method so that he doesn't slander my good name.
Did I invent it? I don't even remember. I'm just a silly little boy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Joe, your mind isn't that of a kid. Quit cosplaying your weird-ass fantasies during our video. But yeah, I don't know, Barack. If you can't believe me, then I guess your brain is melted into goop like Joe's. It's up to the Don to solo carry this list, and coming up we have another triple S tier set of bangers on the books because fried chicken, Oreos, and chips all belong in that tier. Fried chicken is to twerk for, and I would battle anyone for a damn piece of fried chicken. Hell, I remember pushing an old lady in line when the chicken sandwiches first came out for Popeyes, and they had to call the ambulance for her, but she needed to know that the Don does not play around with his damn chicken. I hit her harder than any abusive husband ever could, and I'm sure she got pain that she will never forget.
Dude, that's so incredibly morbid.
I mean, she's probably dead now, so who cares? But yeah, let me continue the rest because I want to talk about why Oreos and chips belong up here even though I'm more than sure we all know why. See, Oreos remain the most dunkable cookie, and they transfer the best into different things. I am a die-hard Oreo enjoyer, and I think the day I stop loving Oreos will be the day I die. And lastly, chips, well, they're chips. Do I really need to explain more as to why chips belong this high up? I can't live without my Cheetos, Doritos, Lay's, you name it, and I probably have a bag of those every day, if not every other day.
What about veggie straws?
Gross, dude, what the hell? I'll only eat those if there's nothing else, but thankfully now that Barron is 18, I just make the kid go get me groceries, and he buys a bunch of junk food and my ass gobbles it up like the garbage goobler. Ahem. But yes, I hope I gave good explanations, because continuing on with the list, we now have the Hot Pocket, and I give this a B tier. It's solid, but honestly, I think in the grand scheme of things on this list, it really doesn't belong that high. I know I made a tier list about it, but I want you all to remember that this is a list of my favorite food and snacks. So like a B tier here is like a normal S tier on an everyday list.
So if B tier is an S, what the hell is an A tier or even an S tier on this list? Like, what is the equatable rating?
S plus and S plus plus, you freaking idiot. Just think for once, man, and I promise you that the answers will come. Well, now with that out of the way, we can get to the final entry, which is chocolate cake, and this wonderful item ending this list off gets a banging A tier, because who doesn't love chocolate cake?
Some people genuinely don't like chocolate or are allergic.
Well, I don't care about them.
Quit it with all this cake talk, because you guys are making me crave cake. I better go watch Filthy Frank's Cake Trilogy in order to get hungrier.
Dear God.
What is going on, gang-a-lang? The Don is back yet again to bring you all a wonderful tier list. A great tier list. Possibly the best tier list to ever exist on the face of this planet. Because this week I am grading the crumble cookies of the week and 3 others that Joe was absolutely begging for me to add. But either way, the Don has no problems at all with ranking some more delicious ass cookies.
Yeah, it really took you some convincing there. All Joe had to say was, Donald, can you rank these other cookies too? And before he was even able to finish his sentence, you jumped in and said yes.
I think it's because he likes me so much.
That is definitely not the reason, Joe. I would rather have Barack call me fat than for you to ever assume we are anything more than work colleagues.
You're fat, Donald.
No, he's not. Donald, please. Tell them you did this for me. I'll even take colleagues with benefits if you catch my drift.
Damn. I guess you're right, Barack. I am a bit overweight.
Wow, Joe, he really doesn't like you.
It's just a goof. I bet he'll say that he was just joking around and then make fun of you, and then he'll call himself my bestie.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Joe. So let's go ahead and get this list started, because damn, I love me some crumble cookies. So up first, we have a cake batter cookie that Joe was twerking for me to add to this list. And unfortunately for Joe here, we're starting the list off with a mid-entry, because I am giving the cake batter cookie a C tier. I feel like it would have been better as a cookie batter cookie rather than a cake one.
What the freaking hell's the difference between the cookie and cake batter? It's all batter-flavored things at the end of the day, so I really doubt you'd be able to tell the difference between cookie and cake batter.
Oh, Joe, you naive, old, ugly, petulant, disgusting, and really old man. This is how I can tell that you're not a real eater, because real eaters definitely know the difference between the two.
Oh yeah, what's the difference then, Donald? Enlighten us.
Oh, you thought you were cooking with this comment. Fine, let me explain it pretty easily then. See, cookie batter tends to be sweeter. As cookies are generally smaller and more concentrated in flavor, it often contains a higher ratio of sugar to flour, making it taste richer. And speaking of richness, the cookie batter is denser and has more fat from butter. And since I haven't commented on cake batter, I will say that cake batter is lighter, smoother, and fluffier due to the higher amounts of liquid like milk. To sum it up for a nincompoop like you, Barack, cookie batter is richer and sweeter, while cake batter is lighter and more balanced in flavor.
God damn, you really are a fucking fat boy, aren't you?
Don't listen to him, Donald. I think it's impressive that you know this much about the differences in batter, but you did rate that one too low.
Joe, I don't need your compliments, and I ranked it in the perfect spot. Just like how I'm going to perfectly rank our next 2 entries, because both of these get banging back-to-back S-tier entries, because the strawberry milk cookie and the Rocky Road cookie absolutely bang to high heavens. I wish these 2 were a damn staple of the franchise. And you know what, Joe? I'm actually glad you included these on the list, because I throw my ass back for these 2 right here.
I'm glad I was able to do something right during my presidency.
You're still in office, Joe. You can still do more.
I mean, on Wednesday, I almost convinced the White House staff to implement an ice cream button. but they said there's no point because I'm gone in a few months. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd think everyone who works for me hates me. Like, why the hell can Donald get a freaking Diet Coke button, but God forbid the Joe Dog tries to get an ice cream button in the Oval Office?
Dude, knowing you, I can already tell that you'd spill the ice cream all over and you'd probably leave the desk all sticky too.
I mean, it is sticky, but it ain't because of the ice cream, bucko.
Dude, gross. I have to clean that out when I go there this November.
If you go there this November?
Come on, man. I have concepts of a plan to make my way to the White House.
Don't worry, Donald. I'll make sure to leave a smell in here that will never go away so that you can always think of me when you're here.
Dude, stop it with all that shit, man, because they are making TikTok edits of us with Chapel Roan music in the background. I even saw some Rule 34 drawings of us on Twitter, and bro, it is not looking good for us. Please stop with the comments.
Maybe I like that they're doing that.
All right, settle down, Joe. I hope you know that they're drawing you as the femboy and not me. God, man, you make me not want to be your friend.
Maybe I like the idea of being a femboy. And you know what they say. Friends can often turn into lovers.
Joe, we're not doing that today. Anyways, let me continue with the ranking because up next we have banoffee pie, which is a graham cookie pie topped with gooey caramel, swirled banana buttercream, and I like it a decent bit, but come on, man. It can't compete with the others on this list, and it just managed to squeak out a B tier. I just think I'm not a huge banana guy, like it's too much potassium.
Speaking of potassium, you guys want to hear a joke? Why don't potassium and sodium ever hang out? Because whenever potassium says K, sodium's like, nah.
Zeus, please strike me down for the love of everything holy. I will give you everything if you do.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the joke.
You're part of the problem, Joe. Anyways, following that, we now have an A tier entry in the lemon cake, which I don't even know why they sell it because it technically is a cake, but whatever, man. I don't make the rules at Crumble Cookie. But yes, this lemon cake is layered with a lemon curd and lemon cream cheese frosting. And what more need I add because I am a sucker for lemon flavored things, and it is to twerk for. Reminds me a lot of a lemon square, but in cake form.
Extremely valid. And I'd even argue that it should probably go up even higher in my opinion because I just had that the other day and it is delicious as hell.
Excuse me, Barack, you're not making the list, are you? Didn't think so, and if I say it's an A tier, then it's a damn A tier. Are you going to have a problem with my next ranking too? Because I am slamming the chocolate chip cookie into B tier. You going to say something about that too?
Well, no, I kind of agree with you. I mean, if you're going to a place like Crumble Cookie and you're already getting charged an arm and a leg, well, you may as well make it worth your while and just get something nice that you can't get anywhere else. Like getting a basic chocolate chip cookie is fine and all, but from Crumble Cookie is a bit OD.
What if I prefer their chocolate chip cookies?
Do you really, Joe? Like, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, but like, is it worth the price?
I'm just yanking your chain, Barack. They're okay.
Exactly why I place them in B tier. They're good and delicious even, but I'm not going to go out of my way for a chocolate chip cookie from Crumble. I will say that if I'm craving it and I'm already there, well then I will get it, but I'll still get a bunch of the other weekly cookies too.
I mean, we all figured that your fat ass is going to do that anyways.
All right, relax, Barack. You literally started this whole thing and now you're here spit roasting me for simply buying into Crumble Cookie's business model. You can't expect me to stock up on new ass flavors only because what if I don't like them?
Donald, I think the lowest rated thing on this list is going to be the C-tier cake batter cookie. And I'll give you $10,000 and endorse you for president if I'm wrong.
You're a piece of shit. I hope you know that.
Meaning I'm right?
Life isn't about being right, Barack. Life is about enjoying things like some goddamn sweet cookies like our next entry, which is the Tres Leches cake. And listen, everyone, this is an automatic S tier because I don't think I've ever had any bad sort of Tres Leches cake in my whole life. Doesn't matter what establishment I get them from because they always just seem to bang so goddamn hard every single time I have it.
I'm noticing a lot of cake items being placed high, but not enough cookies.
Joe, we're getting to that if you would just calm down and wait for me to get to it. Like our last two entries are cookies and you don't know where I'm going to rank them.
Well, I'm just saying that we should have added more cookies. Like the churro cookie banged hard as hell. The blueberry cheesecake cookie was also good. The key lime pie cookie was good as hell too. And don't even get me started on the blue raspberry icy cookie.
The blue raspberry icy cookie sounds like an awful thing. And just hearing it makes it seem like a disaster, just like those freaking Coca-Cola Oreo cookies that just released.
Well, I'll have you know that those cookies actually banged for your information, and so did the blue raspberry one too.
They did indeed bang, Donald, and the blue raspberry icy cookie especially banged hard as hell, and maybe even goes in my top 5 because the base was a vanilla cookie. And while that sounds plain, it was actually good because it made it not taste overly sweet. Don't even get me started on the frosting though, because that was the freaking best part. The taste was so good, and I was shocked that the flavor is exactly like an icy. I could eat a tub of it because the tartness was so enjoyable. And the sugar crystals on top mimics the texture of crushed ice, and that's adorable. It gets a 10 out of 10 on aesthetics and like a maybe an 8.2 on the flavor scale.
Damn, I didn't know we had a cookie defender here, not named Donald John Trump.
Joe was spitting there, man. He took the words right out of my damn mouth. Maybe you should try something first before you judge it, Barack.
Didn't know I struck a nerve there, man. My bad. I guess I'll try it next time it's there.
As you should. But yes, continuing on with the list, our second to last entry is the peanut butter cookie, and I will twerk for most things peanut butter flavored. And despite this being super simple, I still have to give it an A tier. It didn't do anything extravagant, but with how sweet crumble cookies usually are, I feel like it really complemented the peanut butter really well, and it just made a perfect match that just performs the most beautiful of dances on your taste buds.
Tell them what dance they're doing on your taste buds, Donald.
Why, they're bussing it down to some Megan Thee Stallion and hard twerking all over my tongue. Not as much as our final entry, though, because the freaking Oreo cookie is the most delicious cookie here. The cookie to rule them all, because this is an automatic S tier if I've ever seen one, and again, this is no surprise to anyone. I love Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and Oreo flavored Coca-Cola. At this point, I think you can add an Oreo flavor to anything, and I'll be the first one to buy it.
What if I coated a blue Gatorade hot dog in Oreo cream, and then covered it all in the leftover Oreo chocolate crumbs, and then deep fried the whole thing and drizzled chocolate all over that?
Come on, Joe. Donald wouldn't dare to touch something like that.
I mean, I'd try it once.
Donald!
What is freaking going on, gang-a-lang? The Joe Dog is back with another ice cream tier list, and you all can bet your bottom dollar that it is about damn time that I covered some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I love them so much, but before we start this video, I want to bring this into attention because Mr. Ben and Mr. Jerry have crossed the Joe Dog in a way that not many people have done. This has quite frankly dishonored me and my entire bloodline for generations and generations to come.
So you're saying Hunter wasn't doing that already?
Nah, he's cool as hell, and the thing I love most about him is his free spirit. But Ben & Jerry's did something so horrible, so asinine, that I'm about to throw up just trying to get the words out of my mouth.
All right, Joe, spit it out. You're dragging out this bit, and I already know that Ben & Jerry's is one of the best ice cream brands out there. I mean, Joe, they even endorsed Kamala Harris and made their own Kamala ice cream flavor, and it's even on this list. I asked Fraile to include it because I figured you'd want to support her.
You freaking idiot! This is exactly why I hate them. How are you going to tell me that she gets her own damn flavor of ice cream, but the Joe Dog is left with nothing? I constantly talk about how much I love ice cream. It's literally one of my only things. I am known as the goddamn motherfucking ice cream president, but they have the utter gall, the sheer audacity to do this dumbass Kamala Harris flavor. She doesn't even like ice cream like that. She always tells me that she's more of a slushy type of person, and yet Ben & Jerry thought to themselves, oh yeah, let's just give her a flavor and not care about Joe at all. Sure, he's the current president, but who cares? Well, guess what, everyone? That is my final goddamn straw, and guess what I'm doing now? Smoke bomb!
Joe, hey, what the hell, man? Don't go throwing smoke bombs and, what the hell are you wearing? You know she isn't going to like that.
Joe, don't listen to him. You look sexy as hell, my brother.
See, this is why I love you, Donald. And yes, everyone, this is officially MAGA Joe, and I'm only here because of dumbass Ben & Jerry. Want to endorse Kamala Harris, huh? Well, guess what, you idiots? Now you got me, the current president, wearing my swagged out MAGA hat. And I will start this video off by placing the Kamala Harris ice cream that probably tastes like garbage straight into D tier. And I am officially announcing my endorsement for Donald J.
Stop right there, pussy boy.
What the hell? How'd she join our private call?
Oh, hamburgers. This is not what it looks like, Kamala?
It's future Madam President to you numbnuts. Now take my fucking ice cream off D tier and place it into S tier right now. You dementia-ridden sorry-ass excuse for a man and even much sorrier excuse of a president.
But I just don't like the flavor is all. It's nothing political at all.
You are beyond mad if you think I'm as stupid as either Donald or Barack. Because while you bark off about blue Gatorade dogs and yap about random tier lists, I'm here running my damn campaign alongside the country because Whittle Baby Joe wants to play games with his little gay boyfriends while they all circle jerk each other in a phone call and whisper about how much they care for one another. The only one with a semblance of a mind is Barack here because he was so scared of me that he notified me of what dumbass shit you were up to next, Joe. And I had to take time out of my goddamn day just to intervene, and you bet your ass you're getting punished for this, Joe. Like, how insane can you be? Men living in gutters and drinking their own piss would shun your company. You are a prancing lunatic who not a single goddamn soul, and I mean a single soul, would want to be around. Now take off that hat and put the ice cream in S tier before I go in your office and become the first president to be charged with elder abuse.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be the first president because you're only a vice president.
Joe, not now.
You're right. I'm sorry, ma'am, and I'll change right now. Smoke bomb!
You didn't have to do that dumbass smoke bomb again, Joe. You're so stupid, Joe. I swear you couldn't shit in your hands if they were stitched to your asshole. You know you're getting put in the White Room again for 8 hours this time just for this little stunt. And if you ever, and I mean ever, think of pulling something like this again, I'll let you know that you won't make it to November. As for you other two, Donald, just keep doing what you're doing because you'll end up eating yourself to death before November, and Barack. You may think you're better than these two, but you're just as dumb, if not the dumbest, for willingly hanging out with these troglodytes. I hope to not see you losers anytime soon, and Joe, once again, let me say that you're a waste of perfectly good oxygen.
Well, that was rough.
Why'd you even invite her to the call, bro? She was rude as hell, and she's lucky she left before I said what I was going to say because I was going to go off and it was going to be ugly. Luckily, you two held me back from tearing her a new one, and not in the way I'd like to.
Well, I mean, we didn't do anything. We kind of just watched Joe get spit roasted, and then we got caught in the crossfire. But you heard her, man. She's going to do ungodly things to Joe later, and I just wanted to save myself from that.
Is it bad that I really got turned on from all that?
Dude, what the hell?
I just loved the way she mistreated me, and she doesn't know it. But I love the White Room. She sometimes locks me in the cage in the freezer and comes in every 30 minutes and throws water on me. I'm just saying, don't knock it till you try it.
Joe, I don't think I'd want her doing that to me, but I guess I respect you for being so upfront about what you like.
Thanks, man.
Well, let's start this list and ignore what just happened.
Yeah, sorry I can't endorse you, Donald. But yeah, the Kamala Harris ice cream is an S tier. But up next, we do have some certified stinkers and long-time Joe Dog ball knowledge knowers. Know that I hate mint. And I have both mint chocolate cookie and Minter Wonderland going in stanky D tier.
I can't lie, I'm still hung up on what happened earlier. It's hard to flip the page on something like that, especially after seeing Joe just get decimated.
Donald, please, we can't speak about it more or she might come back.
Kind of want her to come back and prosecute me harder and put me in some handcuffs.
No, Joe, continue the list.
You're no fun, man. Well, we now have 2 back-to-back A-tier entries in the Americone Dream and the Cherry Garcia. And these are great flavors, and I know many people might be like, but Joe, you hate cherry-flavored things. And no, I hate artificial cherry, and the Cherry Garcia is made with real freaking cherry pieces and therefore satisfy the Joe Dog. And I really do like it a lot. I think people may gas it up too much, but it's really good. Something that isn't as good is our next flavor, which is the Marshmallow Sky. And this gets a freaking B tier, bro. I think the blue coloring just throws me off, but the flavor isn't all bad. It just looks off.
Oh, so you're fine sucking off the blue raspberry icy cookie from Crumble Cookie, but you draw the line at blue marshmallow ice cream?
I mean, yeah, bro, you can't desecrate the sacred art of ice cream. But if I had a blindfold on and tasted this, I'd enjoy it. I won't enjoy it as much as our next 2 entries because I have the pistachio ice cream and the New York Super Fudge both going into S tier because goddamn the Joester can't have enough of these 2. I think Ben & Jerry's has my favorite pistachio flavored ice cream, which is why I have it so high. And the New York Super Fudge chunk has chocolate ice cream with white and dark fudge chunks, pecans, walnuts, and fudge-covered almonds. Like the amount of chocolate overload is to die for, and the texture and flavor is one of, if not the best flavor here.
Joe is spitting facts right now because whoever thought to add white and black chunks of fudge and almonds to some chocolate ice cream was a damn genius. I need that person in my administration because only a freaking genius would think of that.
I mean, I don't think they'd want to be on your administration given the first S tier on our list.
Oh, damn, you're right. Well, it's their loss.
Oh, it definitely is Donald, because I'd love to be in a Laura Loomer type of position in your administration. Full access to the Don seems like my wet dream.
Joe, I think I'd rather give up running for president than to ever allow that to happen.
Well, you know what they say. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Ahem. But yes, following those amazing entries, we now have our first C tier, because the coffee flavor isn't really doing all that much for the Joe Dog, if I'm being honest. I just wasn't that much of a fan. And in general, I don't like coffee-flavored ice cream all that much, so that shouldn't be a surprise. Up next, though, we're back to greatness because we have a freaking S tier in the peanut butter cup flavor, and this is magnificent. This is a no-brainer S tier right here, man. Like, if I had placed this lower than an S tier, then I'd want Donald to execute me via a firing squad.
Don't worry, Joe. I still plan on doing that when I get elected.
This guy is such a jokester. I swear he should be a comedian. But let's get to wrapping up this list, because up next we have a B tier in the PB S'more, which is toasted marshmallow ice cream with peanut butter cups, graham cracker pieces, and marshmallow swirls. And I understand that it's supposed to be a peanut butter s'more flavored ice cream, but like the graham cracker pieces kind of ruin it for me and bring the rating down. But I think if it would have gotten rid of that, then it would be an A tier, because peanut butter ice cream with marshmallow sounds amazing, like a peanut butter rocky road.
Yeah, but then that would defeat the whole purpose of it being called the PB S'more Joe.
No shit, Sherlock. That's why I said if. I know what they were going for and I respect it, but a B tier isn't bad at all. That being said, wrapping up our list, we have some certified banging S tiers because the fish food and chunky monkey ice cream flavors are just amazing. See, fish is spelled with a PH, so that's how you know it's Fat Boy certified, but it's chocolate ice cream with gooey marshmallow, swirls, caramel swirls, and the cutest little fudge fish on it. Then the one that describes the type of women I like, the chunky monkey, is banana ice cream with fudge chunks and walnuts, and you all already know that the Joester loves himself some artificial banana because that's how bananas are actually supposed to taste like. Did you guys know that artificial banana is actually how bananas tasted like back before some fungus killed them all?
Yes, Joe, I swear you've said this before in another video, and we all already knew this.
Well, not everyone might have known, but either way, that's the list. And since it's the end of the list, I might as well say what I was going to say at the start.
Joe, no, you'll summon her again.
I, Joe Biden, endorse Donald J.
What is freaking going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and I am so freaking happy to bring you all a salad tier list. I've been begging Fraile to let me do this one for quite some time.
Oh man, I wonder why Fraile wouldn't let you do a salad toppings tier list. I'm sure everyone is frothing at the mouth to know what vegetables you're putting on top of your other vegetables.
Come on, man, there's more stuff than just veggies on the list. I mean, you see the bacon as the first thing on this list.
It looks like the only damn thing I'd eat on this list. That and the eggs, well, I guess the avocado too, but only on like a burger or something, because goddamn everything tastes better on a burger.
He has a point there, Barack. Like, why would I want to put eggs or bacon on my salad when I can just slap that mug on a burger and call it a day?
Well, Joe, that's because the amount of cholesterol you're ingesting from a burger would probably exceed that of a salad. And if I'm being honest, I use turkey bacon for my salads. And I'm more than sure that if you get a burger from McDonald's or Wendy's and it has bacon, well, you can bet that it is certainly not turkey, and it'll probably be even more unhealthier than whatever you thought of beforehand.
Well, no shit, bro. You're acting like you've cracked Da Vinci's code over here, talking about how salads are healthier.
Donald is starting to win me over in this debate, Barack. You better step your game up.
What? This isn't a fucking debate, Joe. This is simply me just stating my love for salads, and I'm sure everyone watching the list has to like salads to a certain extent. I mean, they clicked on the video for a reason, right?
They only clicked on it for me and Joe, and after your last stunt in the last video where you snitched on us to Kamala Harris during the Ben & Jerry's tier list. Let's be honest, you're lucky to even be getting a damn video at all.
Okay, man, come on. That was merely a choice I made for survival.
You missed out, man, because the White Room was fun. I was starting to lose myself, and I felt like I was watching myself elevate to a third-person point of view, and I was about to enter nirvana, but each time I was about to enter true peace and bliss, she would come in and splash me with freezing cold water and then turn down the temperature to like 40 degrees in the room.
See? That sounds absolutely horrific. Unless you're Joe and you actually like pain.
Oh, I didn't just like it. I loved it. Just wish she spat on me more.
And we are officially ignoring Joe with that comment. But Donald, there has to be a salad you like. No way you hate them all.
Well, there is one exception to it, and real ones know about it if they're versed in their Donald lore, but it's a salad toppings tier list, so I can't even enjoy talking about it because we all know the best salad to ever grace the planet is the Southwest salad from McDonald's.
You do often talk about how much you twerk for it. even though it's still rather unhealthy. And I think it's like 1,000 calories.
Man, who cares about that? I just loved it when they used to use fried chicken, but now they only use their grilled chicken. And don't get me wrong, it still bangs heavily, but that's like having a star player get injured and he comes back, but is only 90% of the player he once was. Like, I still would want him 10 times out of 10, but damn, we all know he's not as good as he used to be.
That's a pretty good analogy. I can't even lie, but don't worry, Donald. Maybe I can put you on with some amazing ingredients that you'll enjoy on a salad.
I mean, I highly doubt that. I think Joe sold me more on his idea of deep frying a blue Gatorade dog in Oreo cookie crumbs rather than anything you can muster up on this tier list.
Well, we don't know that because I haven't started it, but let me see if I can change your mind. Well, starting this wonderful list off, we have bacon and red onions both going into A tier.
You're already off the mark with this one, man, because bacon should go into S tier.
It's delicious, but I mean, you're kind of defeating the purpose of a healthy salad if you slather it in bacon.
See, I'm the type of guy to just bite red onions like an apple. I like to pretend I'm Shrek and just chomp onto that MFer, and it bangs hard as hell.
Okay, but we're talking about the bacon, Joe?
Oh, yeah. The other day I had this maple bacon beef jerky, and I won't lie, that was possibly the best jerky I've ever had in my whole life. I didn't even know you could make jerky out of pork. I thought it was a beef sort of deal only.
Oh, Joe, you have much to learn about food. What brand did you get the maple bacon jerky from? Because those are indeed elite.
I don't know, man. I just bought a random one.
Joe, you're really pissing me off.
All right, relax, Donald. This isn't a bacon tier list. Settle your fat ass down and let me continue the list without you and Joe having side conversations about bacon jerky. Ahem, well, following those two entries, I now have black olives going up next, and this is a C tier through and through because I just feel like black olives belong more on pizza than anything else, but I mean, I won't complain about them on my salad. I won't go twerking for them, though.
A valid statement with the pizza comment, but still a meat lover's pizza is the way to go.
Oh, yeah, you throat down that meat lover's pizza, don't you, Donald?
Enough of that, Joe. But yes, then moving past that, we now have back-to-back S tiers in the salad dressing and avocado. Now I'm lumping the salad dressing with vinaigrettes and olive oils, and I'm basically boiling down the dressing category to anything wet you put on your salads, and you bet that this is an amazing flavor enhancer, and the avocado is just an S tier on almost anything.
More importantly, Barack, if you're qualifying anything wet that is drizzled over a salad as a dressing, then, would we be able to qualify the special Joe sauce as a dressing?
That's so gross, but yes, it technically would be.
Why do you say it's gross, man? It's just some of Joe's special sauce, and you don't even know what's in it.
I think I have a rough idea of what it is, considering the context clues you've left surrounding what your special sauce might contain. I can tell you right now that I would not be a fan at all, and I think I'd have to take you to jail if you put some on my salad.
It's high in protein, though, so if you don't think about it too much, I'd be doing you a favor.
No, you wouldn't, Joe. No, you fucking wouldn't. Ahem. But yes, following those disgusting remarks by Joe, we now have back-to-back B-tier entries in the nuts and seeds and the broccoli. I think when you're in need of a protein boost that doesn't involve Joe's special sauce, well, nuts and seeds are a great way of providing that. And if you're eating spinach or some salad that has no crunch, well, the nuts and seeds provide that and give you a little flavor boost too. So it's a good option if you don't have much going on in your salad. And the broccoli just gets a B tier because I just like broccoli. I know a lot of people like Donald probably hate broccoli, but what can I say? I love the way it tastes and think it adds to the salad even more when you include it.
Hey man, I do dislike broccoli, but if you add enough nacho cheese to something, then I'm sure I'd like it.
What about cream of broccoli soup? You know the thick soup you can eat with crackers.
Okay, that bangs. But I mean, I'd rather have clam chowder or cream of mushroom soup at that point because both are thick soups and can be eaten with crackers, but I'll still twerk for some cream of broccoli soup.
That's actually pretty great to hear. Maybe all hope isn't lost on you, Donald, because cream of broccoli soup does indeed bang. Speaking of banging...
We talking about what I do on the weekends?
No, Joe. I was going to say that our next entry is a banger because we have hard-boiled eggs, and I am giving this an A tier. Now, this is a great source of flavor and protein, and let's be honest, everyone. Eggs kind of bang on almost anything. Like whenever I have instant noodles, I always got to poach an egg and have it alongside my noodles. I love egg salad in general. And if you put that bad boy in a sandwich, goddamn.
Yeah, but then it stinks up a whole room whenever you open the sandwich.
Oh, I know your ass isn't complaining about smells.
Oh, but I am.
Joe, this has to be a bit or something because you're possibly the stinkiest individual here. And you constantly eat egg salad sandwiches. The other day we were in your car and you asked me to grab your glasses from the glove compartment, and there was an egg salad sandwich there that God knows how long it was there, under all the summer heat. But the grossest part was you saying, "Oh boy, I've been meaning to eat that for a while." And then you proceeded to open the most foulest smelling sandwich I have ever smelled in my lifetime and then downed the whole thing in a matter of seconds.
Well, I was hungry.
I don't think any hunger could have excused what I smelled and saw that day. Well, let's just ignore and continue the list because that's my best coping mechanism. Just stuff all the bad stuff in the back of my brain and pretend it never happened, which is what I'm going to do right now because our next item on the list is dried fruits. And I know it works for some salads, but I personally don't enjoy dried fruits on my salads. And I have this going straight into D tier. No hate to those who don't like it, but it's not for me.
Barack, you got to be more of an enforcer with your opinions, bro. Don't say no hate. Say that shit with your chest, brother, and say that it comes with all the hate and vitriol in your heart.
It's really not that serious. But rounding off this list, we actually have back-to-back-to-back S-tier entries because our last 3 entries are just that good. And I'm talking, of course, about cucumbers, croutons, and carrots. I think these are all needed in your salad if you're going to order one because, damn, it adds so much freshness. And if you combine these with an amazing dressing, oh my God, that's a chef's kiss right there. Because having a nice balsamic vinaigrette or some nice Italian dressing, man, I would be able to down so many freaking salads if you put them in those. Hell, I'll even take some low-fat ranch dressing, too.
There you go again, talking about low-fat and healthy shit. Just for putting me through a damn salad toppings tier list, I'm going to order us a nice and greasy meat lover's pizza, and we are going to dunk our slices into the tub of ranch I got from Wingstop.
Oh, man, don't even get me started on that Wingstop ranch because you'll get the Joester joint all up in his pants.
I know it's so damn good.
Can I order a side salad?
Hell no! What is freaking going on, gang-a-lang? We are back with another tier list, and this time around, the great Don will be ranking some freaking Kit Kats. Now, I am way too excited for this one because I always say that Kit Kats are my favorite types of chocolate bars.
Didn't you say that Hershey's chocolate was your favorite, or was it Twix? Am I possibly getting these confused with Milky Way bars? Maybe I'm just thinking about how much you like Three Musketeers.
Joe, I don't know if you're doing a bit or something, but you're technically correct about all of those because I swear I've heard Donald call all of those chocolate brands his favorite, at least at some point in time. Probably because for Donald, any single type of chocolate is probably his favorite.
Whoa, let's settle down because I swear in my whole life I have never uttered the words, "Man, I am really craving a Three Musketeers right now." But as for the rest, well, what can I say, man? They're good brands of chocolate, but my personal top 3 is Twix, Kit Kats, and Ferrero Rocher, all in no particular order, of course.
As a chocolate man, I do have to say that your top 3 are valid as hell.
As a chocolate man, you say, quite ironic.
Joe, stop. I meant it as a chocolate bar guy. God, I hate you sometimes.
Don't worry, Barack. Me and Donald have been known to love every color in the rainbow, if you catch my drift.
I really don't want to hear about that. I just wanted to say that Donald's top 3 chocolates were good. I really didn't want this conversation to devolve into something worse.
Well, Barack, seeing as though I'm in eater mode, I have to agree. Joe, this isn't the time to tell Barack about our crazy times in Vegas, but instead it's time for me to get down to ranking some fucking Kit Kats. Up first, we have the OG Grandmaster Kit Kat, and you all already know that this is getting an S tier. Like, quit lying to yourself if you think otherwise, because this is not only delicious, but also grandfathered all the other flavors.
Not to mention that whenever Kit Kat has a crossover with another brand like McDonald's, or like when they make their own ice cream, you always see the OG Kit Kat flavor being the one they use. You all know why? It's because it's the biggest banger out there.
I mean, that's kind of what I said, Joe. It's in S tier for a reason.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. I just wanted to back you up on this, bro.
Okay, but did I really need that backup? I can handle this on my own, thank you very much.
Oh, so you'll happily take an endorsement from me for president, but your fat ass won't allow me to back you up on this simple opinion on how the OG Kit Kat flavor is amazing.
Wow, it's getting a bit tense here. How about instead we just focus on the next item on the tier list, because I think we all get that OG Kit Kats are goated. But what about that next one, because I see mint chocolate Kit Kats?
Oh, God, we all already know that freaking anything mint-flavored belongs in the goddamn garbage, bro. Like, I wouldn't even feed this shit to my dog.
Well, Joe, you shouldn't be feeding any type of chocolate to your dogs.
Nah, trust me, bro, he's a freaking tank. He can handle the chocolate because I've trained his microbiome in his gut to be able to survive chocolate.
Joe, you and I both know that isn't true.
Yeah, I know. It's how I lost my first dog. His name was Mr. Gigglesworth, but contrary to his name, he was a very serious dog who never barked, smiled, or laughed.
Probably because somehow in his dog mind, he knew that his owner was the most demented human being to ever exist. Talk about bad RNG. But no, Joe, this mint chocolate is definitely not going into D tier because I have that flavor and the Ghost Toast Halloween flavor both going into A tier. The mint chocolate is self-explanatory because, I mean, you either like mint or you hate it and the Don loves it. But the Ghost Toast is actually cinnamon-flavored Kit Kats, and that freaking bangs hard as hell, so make sure you all grab some this Halloween.
What about that next flavor, Donald? The one with the witch. You should have ranked that one with the Ghost Toast since they're both Halloween themed.
Joe, I was gonna get to that if you would give me some time to fucking breathe, bro. Goddamn. I don't like the witch one as much because it's marshmallow cream, and it really doesn't change the flavors up much and tastes worse than the OG flavor. So I have that and the Mocha Chocolate Duos flavor both going into B tier. I thought this Duos flavor with Mocha would bang harder, but it unfortunately did not.
It sounds good as hell, though. Mocha cream with coffee bits all covered in chocolate. I don't know about you, but that's a banger in my book.
Okay, bro, and in my book it's not. See how easy it is to just pay no mind to your opinion. I don't give a damn about what you have to say.
I mean, you cared enough to respond.
I wasn't going to let you have the last word. The viewers will sense that I am not the alpha of the pack if I don't assert my dominance.
Where was this when Kamala harassed us on the Ben & Jerry's tier list?
I was about to do something, but I had to drink some water and I had to go fill up the glass, and by the time I came back, she was gone.
Oh, that makes total sense now. I know you definitely would have wiped the floor with her.
Of course I would have, Joe. But no one looked back on the footage because we're on a new topic now, which is Kit Kats. And speaking of them, well, our next entry is a strawberry chocolate flavor, and this might be the first strawberry flavored thing I give a C tier, but let me explain why. One simple word, dark chocolate. I rest my case.
That was 2 words.
Huh?
Well, you said, and I quote, one simple word. And then you said 2 words in dark chocolate.
Well, it's hyphenated, so like, you know how you're supposed to put a hyphen between spider and man, and it then becomes one word. That's what I did with dark chocolate. There's supposed to be a hyphen in the middle, making it one word.
I don't think the English language works like that.
Trust me, bro, I'm a genius beyond anyone's mind. Why do you think Elon Musk sucks me off so much?
Because it feels good?
No, Joe, it's because he knows I'm a genius. That's what I was getting at, not your gross and perverted thoughts. God, man, sometimes it's hard to just have a normal conversation with you, bro.
That's just dawning upon you now?
Okay, but now it's like really evident, but I still want his endorsement, so unfortunately I will have to let that shit slide. Ahem, but yes, now moving on, we have another back-to-back entry in the white Kit Kat and the green tea Kit Kats. Now see, I almost contemplated giving the white Kit Kats an S tier, but just having white cream isn't enough to move the Don. And as for the green tea Kit Kats, well, They were really delicious when I had them, but the reason why I won't give them a rating higher than an A is because I remember I went through a bag of those mini green tea Kit Kats, and I spent the whole night just blowing my toilet up to high heaven because no one thought to tell me that green tea is actually a laxative, and when you add up the lactose from the milk chocolate, well, you get a freaking disaster. And I just remember painting my whole toilet bowl that same night, and some stains won't ever go away.
Gross, man, what is this, a freaking Joe tier list?
You're right, that was a little TMI for a Kit Kat tier list.
I think it wasn't enough information if you ask me. Could you possibly tell me what the smell was like?
Joe, you're a certified freak man. I think Saucy Santana has nothing on you with the way you act.
Who the hell is Saucy Santana?
Oh, he's only my idol. I wish I can throw it back like Saucy Santana.
Is she like a famous twerker or something? I'm not following this whole thing.
She? Haha, oh man, I remember when I was that innocent too, Barack. I'll let you Google Saucy Santana twerking on your own, and you can formulate your own opinion later. Well, anyways, following those banging A-tier entries, we now return to mid because the birthday cake Kit Kat is a straight C tier. Listen, I don't know if I'm a hater or something, but I swear most birthday cake / confetti flavored things just end up tasting funny, and I'm not the biggest fan of them.
Way to spit, Donald, because we all know that those flavors are mid as hell.
See, having you agree with me, well, it doesn't really inspire much confidence. That's like having Lizzo say that I have a good diet and I should keep it up, or having Saucy Santana call me sexy.
Okay, what is up with the Saucy Santana talk? Now, I'm really going to Google her after this video.
I'm sorry, man. I just can't get Saucy Santana out of my head after Joe showed me the other day when I let him queue up a song on my Apple Music playlist.
Oh, you use Apple Music?
Dude, it's cheaper than Spotify, and I only have Apple devices. Why would I not use Apple Music? That's like having Xbox everything, and when you go to game on your PC, you use a PlayStation controller. Like, make it make sense.
Well, we all know Spotify is better because they have a freaking personal DJ which plays some low-key bangers that you would have never have found otherwise, and their playlists in general are so much better. All that, and I haven't even mentioned Spotify Wrapped.
Listen, man, I don't know what you want from me. I'm not switching.
Don't worry, Barack. I use Spotify too.
Ah, that's not what I wanted to hear.
See that right there is another reason why I won't swap? Enough of that, though, because I have to continue the list. And up next is an A tier in the chocolate donut Kit Kat, and this is a banger. I would have it in S, but like it's a bit OD of a flavor because it's about twice as sweet as a normal Kit Kat and is like an extremely sweet donut, and I like it and all, but I can't have it up there with the GOAT.
Wow, we're approaching the end of the list, and you still haven't placed anything else into S tier aside from the OG Kit Kat bar. I'm actually impressed you held such a high standard for this list, Donald. You actually don't have a bajillion things going into S tier, and I doubt you're going to put these last two into S tier because they're fruit-flavored things.
Oh, Barack, you naive fool. I actually have both the blueberry muffin and raspberry Kit Kats going straight into S tier. You spoke too soon and you jinxed yourself, my guy. Now, anyone who has had either of these know how much of a banger these flavors are. The fruit flavoring just adds a different layer of complexity that a mere mortal like you could never understand, Barack.
Okay, so now all of a sudden you're like this otherworldly being. Okay, man, relax. I was just saying you wouldn't place it high because you dislike fruit.
Now, what would give you the impression that I dislike fruits?
Well, I'm more than sure you've stated it in our previous videos, and, you're fat as fuck.
He has a point, Donald. Your Trump rump is almost as big as Saucy Santana's.
Can we stop with the Saucy Santana talk?